This is for the woman who hasn't invested in herself yet and may not fully understand the importance of actually investing in yourself. This is something that I really care about deeply for each and every single one of you. And that's because there was a moment in time in my life where I did not invest in myself either. And there is something drastically different about the woman that I was when I was not investing in myself and the woman who I am now, who constantly invests in myself. And we can invest in ourselves in so many different ways. But primarily, I want to talk about money. Why? Because a lot of women have money blockages, which is insane to me, but I totally get it. I know that in this lifetime, we're always going to be faced with money blockages or resistance towards money or feelings of scarcity and lack, just because that is the normal. That is something that we have to go through as a human. Even if you are the richest person in the room, you have probably conquered the most money blocks or some sort of setbacks mindset wise when it comes to finances and abundance. And that's simply because in order for us to grow, in order for us to evolve, in order for us to expand, in order for us to become rich or financially free, financially secure, financially grounded, safe, we have to see what those shadows are, face them, overcome them, alchemize them, transmute that energy, and then shift that energy from lack and scarcity over to abundance and peace and comfort and security. So because we have to naturally and normally go through this experience no matter what, wouldn't it make sense for us to use that resistance as a stepping stool to get us closer to where it is that we're looking to go to break through to our next level? Yes, of course it does. But I also know that there are so many women who have such a large fear or have such a large level of scarcity that they will do anything but invest in themselves. They will avoid it at all costs. They will ignore the solutions that a program or a mentorship or a course or a class would be able to provide for them. And that's absolutely insane for me. And I really hope that there's no one in my world, no one in my community who listens to me every single day, watches my content every single day, maybe gets a one-off session, mini Reiki session, or hops into my live streams as often as possible. I hope that you're not the woman who comes into my world every single day and feels like you have no resources to come in a little bit closer and invest. And there's a couple different reasons why this breaks my heart if you feel like you're that person. One, I have a ton of free content, which is great for you to start off with. And if you were to binge all of the free content and implement what it is that I'm telling you in that free content, you would make more money. Simply, you would make more money. There was a whole season last year where for a couple months straight, all I did was post Reiki for abundance, expansion, prosperity, luck, career, wealth, good fortune, to help you eliminate some of these energetic blockages. When I go on live streams, there's tons of live streams, hours worth of free content for you to binge that will help you shift your mindset. However, here is the main issue. Sometimes when it comes to that free content, love free content, utilize it as much as you can. But the issue is, and we all know this, where there is no transaction, there is little to no transformation. Now, why is that? It's because there's no skin in the game. In order for you to receive the biggest transformations, you have to have some skin in the game. You have to put some of your energetic currency forward. There has to be something up for stakes. That way, you're kind of locked in. You're anchored. You don't want to waste your money because your money is valuable to you. So when you are investing in something, when you're putting forth that money, your energetic currency, and remember that we are all connected. So money is you. You are money. If you feel like you have a lack or scarcity or anything like that, it's because there's something that's inside of you that you haven't seen yet and needs to be healed or looked at, or maybe you just need more discipline, because money is also a discipline. But once you have that investment that's staring at you in the face, like all you have to do is pay this much and you will get these results. If you have so much scarcity and so much lack, you are going to start to doubt that you'll be able to get those results no matter how much you pay, because your fear is outweighing your self-trust. Self-trust is a whole other thing. Self-trust is being a woman of your word. Self-trust is honoring yourself, respecting yourself, loving yourself, following through, doing the thing. Self-trust is born, cultivated, and maintained when you decide that you want to be consistent. It is a discipline. Everything in this life is a discipline. You're going to hear me say that 5 million times. It's a discipline. So when you have a program or a mentor that you're looking to invest in, or just interested in investing in them, like, wow, their free content. Maybe you look at my free content, you're like, wow, their free content is so powerful. And like Mystique has all of these juicy codes and downloads. I just know that if I were to get into one of her programs, I just know that if I were to get one of those courses, I just know that if I were to get a one-off session with her, I can feel that it would be different. Like if she serves me so well in this free content, I just can't even imagine how mind blown I would be if I were to pay. But then right in that moment, a resistance comes through and you lean further into that resistance, holding you back. You lean further into your ego self, keeping you locked in this invisible prison, because to you, that's more familiar and comfortable than actually doing the thing. Because it's not me that gives you the results. It's not the mentor that gives you the results. As a mentor, a coach, a service provider, someone in business, an entrepreneur, we are here to guide you, to help facilitate the process, to help support you, to help point you in the right direction, to shift your perspective so you can navigate things easier. We're here to literally be like the bumpers when it comes to you going bowling, so that we can make sure that even if you don't really get a strike on your first time, you're bound to hit something. You're bound to have some form of success. But the thing is, you don't lack the trust in us, but you say that you do. That's why you don't pay. You lack the trust in yourself, and that's why you don't pay. You're not facing the truth. You not trusting a mentor. I mean, obviously, find someone who resonates with you. And I'm sure that since you're here right now, you're listening to this because you resonate with me. You're in this podcast or you're in this IG channel because you resonate with me and you trust me to some degree. I've probably tapped into your energy before personally. So I know that there's a level of trust there. What you don't do is trust yourself enough to pay the money, to do the thing, to stay consistent, to ask the right questions, to be in the room with someone who understands where you've been, because I've been there for you or with you before. And I understand it. I get it. I've been in those shoes. You pay to get into that room. You pay to be a part of the frequency. And then you get those results when you do the thing. But if you're not trusting yourself, that's why you're not committing. That's why you're not investing. That's not why you're staying disciplined. And I want you to reframe this. And there's times in my life, like I get it. You're probably like, but Mystique, I really don't have the money. So get the money. And I say this to you as a love and a shove, because if there's anyone in this like world or earth that understands not having money, but still having to move forward, it's me. Like I get it, right? I used to be homeless. I used to live inside of my car with my 2 dogs and an apartment's worth of stuff. I used to go and drive around and figure out the most desolate area so I can sleep. I used to go to Walmart parking lots to sleep, one eye open, one eye closed. And I have a hatchback. Like, I still have the car now that I used to sleep in and live in. And I would have the hatchback seats fold forward and put like a little memory foam on there. And like, I'm a tall girl. I'm 5'7", and I had to like bend my knees and pivot myself to the left a little bit and to the right a little bit if I wanted some comfort. And then remind you, I've got 2 dogs who are just like breathing in my face all night long. And then in the mornings, as soon as the sun comes up, the car is not on, right? Because you can't keep the car on for so long. And it's hot. It's hot. I'm sweaty. The second that the sun comes up, I'm like, okay, shit, we gotta wake up. We gotta go. We gotta do the next thing. We gotta get out of here. Can't have the cops called on us. Gotta move to the next thing. Sleeping in strangers' homes. Sleeping on strangers' couches. Sleeping on strangers' basements. Like, I've been through it. And from that point of being homeless, mind you, from that point of being homeless, a year later, I found security. I found stability. I reached over 1.4 million followers on TikTok. I started a business for myself. I made it happen. Me being homeless did not break my spirit. I think it actually set me free. I felt, even though I didn't really have the physical means around me, where I didn't really have a roof over my head and I didn't have that much spending money, I was doing psychic readings on Instagram and teaching people about manifestation and meditation and their energy centers. And I was teaching people how to connect with their spirit guides on Instagram for pocket money so that I could go and feed my dogs and feed myself and get some gas. I made it work. And I know you have all of these excuses. I could have had excuses too. I had a hell of a lot of excuses. This was the middle of quarantine. This is the middle of 2020. Like, the peak, everyone like is masked up and scared to be outside, and I'm forced to live outside. Like, I know that you have kids. I know that you have a partner. I know that you have bills. I know that you have a mortgage. I know that you have responsibilities. I know that you're in debt. I get it. Get out of debt. Get into alignment. Heal your energy. Refocus. Reprioritize. Have those hard conversations. Make a side hustle. Make some extra pocket money. Pay off that credit card. Do what it is that you have to do. Do the thing. And sometimes it almost doesn't make any logical sense, but even if you're in debt, sometimes that is still the best place for you to go and invest in yourself, because it pays off tenfold to have the right conversations with the right people, to get into the rooms with the people who will support you, to get into the rooms with someone who will understand you, so that you can shift out of that lack mindset. You can shift out of that scarcity mindset. You have to become resourceful. Become resourceful. I could have easily said, woe is me. I live in my freaking car right now with 2 dogs. I'm not going to go on Instagram. I'm not going to teach anybody how to heal. I'm not going to teach anybody anything about their energy. I'm just going to sit here and be broke and not have any money for gas and not have any money to eat and not have any money for my dogs and not do what I have to do and just cry all day long in my car in a Walmart parking lot. I could have easily done that. But then if I gave up, if I didn't become scrappy, if I didn't become resourceful, if I didn't take a look at what I have around me and utilize that, if I didn't awaken to my gifts and talents and then broadcast that to the world, if I didn't have a backbone and say, you know what, I'm taking radical acceptance and radical responsibility of my life. I'm going to do the thing over and over and over again. I'm going to become a more consistent person, more disciplined person. I'm going to heal my energy. I'm going to get my mind right. I'm going to do whatever it takes at all costs. Do whatever it takes. Knowing I was in debt, knowing I didn't have that much money, still doing whatever it was that I possibly could do. If I didn't do all of that, I would not be here yelling at you in this podcast episode. I wouldn't be here to give you Reiki. Many of you who saw my Reiki first all those years ago, or maybe I was your introduction to Reiki, your introduction to spirituality, your introduction to energy healing, your introduction to chakras, your introduction to identity shifting. Many of you are on a spiritual journey, became a healer, became Reiki attuned, decided to try different healing modalities because of me. And I know that. And I know that because you guys have been telling me that for years. I still get comments on my TikTok, on my Instagram, through my email, in my free community. Hey, I'm one of those silent followers or subscribers. I don't really engage that much with your posts. Like maybe I like them, or I just follow you, but I never comment. But I wanted to tell you, 5 years ago, you saved my life. 5 years ago, I found one of your ASMR videos and I was able to have a good night's sleep, and it's completely changed how I treat myself now. It's completely changed how I function now. It's completely changed how I navigate in my life now. I would not have changed the lives of millions of people if I did not invest in myself. Okay? Mind you, I went from being homeless. A couple months later, literally 3 to 4 months later, I invested in a Reiki training program. I invested in a Reiki training program. That was around $500 that I had no idea what I was going to do to be able to afford it. But I knew that it was a part of my journey. I knew it was a part of my soul's calling. I knew that I was still in debt. I knew that I still had credit card things to pay off. I got my ass on TikTok. I posted videos. I did sessions. I did Reiki sessions for $5. $5 a pop. $5 a pop. I did Reiki sessions every single day on live streams between the times of 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. because that was the time that I had. Every single day. I posted on TikTok 9 times a day. Every single day, or as often as I could. So that I could get more awareness of spirituality, of being an empath, of chakras. And then when I got to learn how to do Reiki, I started pushing Reiki, and it caught on like wildfire. It caught on like wildfire. And I said, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what the universe has been telling me to do. The reason I was homeless, it's all making sense. I had to come from the depths of my own despair and claw my way out of that rock bottom moment. And I've had many. I had to claw my way out of my rock bottom, invest in myself through getting resourceful, through asking the right people the right questions, through putting myself in a leveraged position to be able to trade my skill, my talent, my expertise. And it was little at that time. I was just a baby spiritualist. I was just a baby energy healer. $5 a pop. Come on, guys. Now, if you go on a live stream session with me, it's $50. And I might still increase those prices too. So to come from that, to then save up as much as I could to invest in getting Reiki trained, to then having to wait 6 more months, to then having to take the Reiki Master, which was over $1,000. To me, that was like the most beyond thing in the whole entire world. Like, how am I gonna, I couldn't even almost do like the $500. Like, how am I gonna do the over $1,000? I did it. I got resourceful. I got creative. I got out of my head and into my work. I embodied the person who would be able to afford that. And I told myself, there's people waiting for me. There's people waiting to pay me. There's people waiting for my expertise. There's people waiting for my Reiki. There's people waiting for my energy. People's lives are tied to my success. People's lives are tied to my investment. So yeah, I may have paid over $500, over $1,000 for my Reiki attunement, but I had to pay that so that you and the next person and the next person and the next person and the next person could thrive. So that you could feel seen, so that you could feel heard, so that you could feel cared for, so that you could feel a part of something bigger than yourself, so that you could get Reiki trained, so that you could take healing into your own hands, so that you could heal yourself and heal others, so that you could start your own business. I made these investments not only for me, but I made them for all of you. So you cannot sit here and tell me, I haven't invested in myself yet. I haven't invested in your program. I haven't invested in a one-off session. I haven't invested in your low-ticket course. I haven't invested in your highest level program because I just don't have the money. There was a time I didn't have the money, but I didn't let that stop me. I never do. I never let that stop me. If I feel like I'm in lack and scarcity, I double down on myself even more. I go even harder. I go even harder because I know that, one, I'm not homeless anymore. That makes it easier for me. But if I could work my way out of that, and I can endure and survive everything that this universe has put me through, and I'm strong and I have will, and I'm having fun throughout the process, even though there's days where I just want to bust down and cry and have a mental breakdown, and I do, and then I come back even better, even stronger. I know that I can catapult myself to the success that I'm looking for by becoming a different person and investing in myself. And every single time I invest in myself, the return on investment that I get is way more than even just money, but I double, triple, or quadruple what I spent as that investment every single time. Yeah, maybe I spent around $1,500, $1,600 on my Reiki certification and attunement. Have I made way more than $1,600 in my business within the last 5 years? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I fucking have. Hell yeah, I fucking have. Because I bet on myself. I went all in on myself. I did the thing. I committed to myself. I trusted myself. I kept my word. I kept the promises to myself. And if I realize that I've been walking through life and I don't really feel that excited, I don't really feel that fulfilled, I don't really feel like I'm evolving, I don't really feel like things are changing, I have to ask myself, did I make a promise to myself today yet? Did I make a promise to myself for this week, for this month, for this year yet? Oh, I haven't? Let me anchor in. Let me grind. Let me gotta do what I gotta do. And I say grind in a way where there's moments and periods that you grind. I hope that through your energetic embodiment and your perspective shifts and knowing about manifestation, that you don't have to grind and keep grinding. The grind period is a little period to just get you like, oh, let's get that momentum going again. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's drive, let's drive, let's drive, so that we can then later cruise and build upon that momentum with a lot more ease and effortlessness. But if you feel like you've come to a standstill, it's time to grind. It's time to get resourceful. It's time to get creative. And I'm saying this to you over and over and over and over and over again to drill it in your head that this is what you need to do if you're looking to advance, progress, evolve, transform in your life. If you're looking to get those results in your life. And yes, hell yes, this is a love and a shove. I wish somebody would have told me this years ago. I wish somebody would have told me this before I lost my house. I wish somebody told me this before I became homeless. I would have killed to have a partner who had a stable income to support me during that time while I was at home not making that much money, because I was a makeup artist and then the quarantine happened and I couldn't touch faces anymore. And I tried to teach, but it wasn't really working and it wasn't really conveying because I did not yet have the skill level of a businesswoman who was able to host online classes like I do now. Hey. If you haven't joined the Quantum Receiver Masterclass, make sure that you're in there. It's free. It's free for you. Watch how much I've leveled up. Watch how much I've quantum shifted. Watch how much I've quantum leapt from someone who literally became homeless because I couldn't host a fucking masterclass and have people sign up for my program afterwards or pay me for online coaching to now being an online coach who supports herself and is happy and thriving. What I want you to take from this message is that when you have an opportunity in front of you, like the Fierce Awakening Mastermind, my highest ticket program for 3 months, when I have something in front of you like the Beyond Balance program, which is a mid-ticket offer, when I have something in front of you like a Reiki session, just a one-off, less than $200, when I have something in front of you like a mini Reiki session, only $50, I hope that you don't look at any of those investments with hope in your heart, mind, body, soul, and say no to yourself. Especially when it resonates. Especially when you're like, I feel the calling. I feel the pull. But I don't want to shoot the trigger because my fear of the unexpected is greater than the love that I have for myself to actually follow through, to actually see it forth, to cast that vision and try and run and shoot and leap and just dive for it. Okay? I want you to think of whatever it is that you've been scared to invest in and decide to invest in it today. Because I promise you, you will get your return on your investment. You cannot live off of free samples all the time. Can you imagine if you just had free samples all the time for food and you just went to the food court every single day and just got free samples with a little toothpick? That's not fulfilling enough. It shows you, oh, this is good. This is exciting. I like this. This is a great flavor. This has, been a little uplifting moment for my day, but it doesn't actually fulfill you. It doesn't actually feed you the way that you need to be fed, the way that your soul wants you to be fed. And that's what happens when you become a freebie seeker. And again, I get it. I was there. I still sign up for freebies all the time. I love freebies. We love a freebie. But the point and purpose of a freebie is for you to see, hey, I'm going to open this door, just crack it open a little bit, step inside, see what it feels like in here. Do I like this room? Yeah. Do I like the people? Yeah. Do I love what's being served here? Yeah. Do I feel nourished? Yeah. Do I feel like I trust this person who's facilitating this? Yeah. Do I feel like I trust myself enough to go forward and actually bite the bullet and then do the thing and go all in on myself and then transform my whole entire life forever and then change my identity as someone who does the thing, change my identity as someone who's super powerful, change my identity as someone who used to doubt herself but now just feels like the most confident version of myself that I've ever become? Yeah. All right. I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay and I'm going to pay in full to show myself that commitment. Whenever you pay somebody else for a service, you're paying yourself. You're not paying them. Yeah, sure you are. Sure. Logistically, fine. I don't care what they do with that money. Whenever I invest in somebody else in their program, I don't care what they do with that money because that money was a representation. It was a symbol for me to remember that I'm the one who's in charge of my own life. I'm the one who's in charge of my own destiny. I'm the one who saves myself. I'm the one who makes a difference. I'm the one who matters. I'm the one who makes that transformation for myself. I'm the one who allows myself to evolve. I'm the one who leads my own journey. And if I have to put this much skin in the game to make that point to myself, to recalibrate my subconscious mind so that that becomes my normal, so that that becomes my autopilot, and then I realize a quarter of the way, halfway through the whole entire process, I made back double, triple, quadruple, 10 times the investment that I initially put in to begin with. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So this is for those of you who haven't invested in yourself yet. It is so important to do so. It is so important to do so. For some of you, you're only on this Instagram channel or follow me on TikTok or follow me on Instagram, and maybe your investment is just getting into my free community. Maybe that's what it is for right now. Maybe your investment is going into the link in my bio and clicking mini Reiki session and opting in to that low level offer, low investment offer, and seeing how much your world, your life, your self-concept can change. Maybe for some of you who are already in my free communities, who follow me on all socials, who are on my email list, who joined the free Quantum Receiver Masterclass, maybe your next step is actually getting a full one-on-one Reiki session, whether that be in person or online. Maybe your investment next step is to join the Beyond Balance program and have a self-led course to be able to take you through the processes of taking healing into your own hands so that you can balance your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual body so that you can then manifest what it is that you actually prefer instead of manifesting repeated cycles that you don't prefer, that keep you in lack, that keep you suffering, that keep you scared, that keep you held back. Maybe your next level, if you've already signed up for all of that and you're already in the Beyond Balance program and you've already accomplished that, maybe your next level is having more mentorship with me, having more one-on-ones with me, setting yourself up for a call with me, hopping into the Fierce Awakening Mastermind with me. We start April 16th, very, very soon. Get inside of there before we actually start. It's okay if the door is open and you're late. It's an evergreen program, which means that you can roll in at any time, but why not start at the very start? Why not get ahead of the game? While everyone else is sleeping and everyone else is waiting and everyone else is dragging their feet, why don't you wake up early and do the damn thing and commit to yourself? Maybe your next step is just sending me a DM and saying, you know what? Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for being so raw, so real, so honest, so vulnerable, so intimate. Your insights have changed my life. And I want to know what my next step is. Can you tell me this is where I am? This is where I'm wanting to go. What is the next best service or program or course that you have to offer for me? Because I'm ready and I'm willing and I trust in myself to make it happen. I know that I can follow through. And even if I slip, even if I fall, I know that you'll be right there helping me to stay accountable. Because that's what mentorship truly is, to be held accountable. I remember when I first signed up for my shaman apprenticeship. I went from my Reiki attunement. I had to wait 6 months to get my Reiki master. And within those 6 months, I think it was like 1 month or 2 months after I did my Reiki 1 and 2 attunement, I signed up for a shamanic apprenticeship. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea what I was getting. Can you believe that? Like, can you believe that? I did not know what I was getting myself into. I said, okay, this is a Native American healing. I have no idea at all what it is. But I said, I'm going to take this first class. And they break it down into $50 payments every single class. So you don't have to really pay all up front, which is also great. They just say, when you're going to make a class, you just make your payment. Okay. I did the first class and I said, if I like this class, I will continue. If I don't like this class, I will not continue. Because $50 every single week and you've got 13 levels and I'm at level 1 means that if I really like this and I really want to commit to it, I'm locked and loaded for 5, maybe 6 years. 5, maybe 6 years of paying $50 every single week. Every single week. And I went to the first class and I said, oh, I love this. Can you imagine if I was scared? Oh my God, if I really decide that I like this, I'm going to have to pay $50 every single week. And then I'm going to have to do that for the next 6 years of my life. And I don't even know if I'm going to be living here in 6 years. And what if I decide to drop out in the middle of it? And then will I just like waste it all? And oh my God, this isn't really even a certificate program because every single thing that I'm learning here is coming from a real shaman who's just learned this through generations and generations and generations of their own family members. And like, I can't even Google this information. So even if I like don't decide that I want to continue, like, where am I going to get this information from if it's not this one person? And I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here giving you all the knowledge. I wouldn't be here as the sharpened and refined and expert healer that I am right now to help you take the medicine of Mother Earth and air and water and fire and spirit to bring your body into balance. I would not know anything about energy cleansing. All of the times that you guys have been on my live streams, or if you've asked me for advice, what is the one thing I tell you in every single video or form of advice? I say, protect your energy, cleanse your energy. If you come to me with any ailment, any inconsistency, any imbalance, I always say, hey, what do you do to cleanse and protect your energy? And I only know that because I decided to invest in that shaman apprenticeship. I'm 4 years in now. I'm over 4 years in. I'm level 10. About to hit level 11, and there's 13. There's 13 levels. Can you imagine if I did not commit to myself because I chose fear and lack and scarcity over myself, over my future, over all of the lives that I was touching and impacting? Crazy. Crazy. If I can invest in 4 years of the same mentor and the same mentorship program, you can commit to 3 months with me in the Fierce Awakening Mastermind, which is my current highest level ticket program that I have available for you. You can do it. There is a lot. There's a lot of messages and impact in this message that I had for you today. There's just a lot. So I hope that you receive it. Listen to this multiple times. Whenever you're scared of taking that plunge, taking that leap of faith, whenever you're scared of going forth into that program, whenever you're scared of applying for that mentorship, whatever it is, I want you to take a listen to this again, to hear where I've been, to understand where you are, and to hold your hand as we jump together into your next investment, into the rest of your life, into your next level identity, into your own personal breakthrough. I love you so much. And I will see you in the next one.